Hey guys, welcome to part 1 of a series I am calling My Entire Game Library. Today I'll be talking about just a few of my systems, maybe 10 seconds about every game, and how I would rate them. Today I'm going to be talking about the Xbox One, the PS4, the 360, the Switch, and the Wii U. A few of them, like the Xbox One and the PS4, I don't really have that many games for, but the other ones I do have a lot, so I'm just going to pack them all into one video, and I'll be talking about the GameCube, the Wii, PlayStation 2, the PS1, all those in other videos, because to do them all at once, not only would I have to find all of them, that would be a very long video. I own a lot of games. Let's just get going. Alright, let's start off easy with Xbox One and PS4, and I'm going to put them together because together I own, 8 games. That's it. Okay, so the first one, I'm going to start off with my most disappointing one, No Man's Sky. I bought this game for $20, like a few months back. It's not a bad game. There's a lot to do in terms of actual content, but it's very repetitive. And while I am planning on going back to it, it also drives me crazy of how janky it is. So, 7 out of 10, I probably have to say. Next is Kingdom Hearts 1.5 2.5 Remix. This is a collection of Kingdom Hearts 1 Final Mix, Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix, Kingdom Hearts Rechain of Memories, Kingdom Hearts 3582 Days and Recoded in movie format, and Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep Final Mix. So this is one of my favorite series of all time, so obviously these are really good remakes of the game. The only issue with them is the fact that the aspect ratio for this game is ridiculous. There are black bars across every side of my screen. Not that big of a deal, and considering that they do run really well, I'm going to have to give this one a 9. Minecraft Story Mode. I expected something very, very different, and needless to say, I was very disappointed. Interesting story, but I don't have a real urge to finish this game. The story was interesting, but it's just so bare bones. I really hope most other Telltale games aren't like this, because if so, then they're not good. 4.5, I guess. Star Wars Battlefront, even though there weren't a lot of people playing it, and it was a disappointment in most aspects, according to at least the people that play the other Battlefront games, being someone that this was one of their first shooters of all time. I love this game, actually. 8.5 out of 10. Final Fantasy 15 is great and a nightmare at the same time. The story is interesting, the characters are great, but it also has a lot of plot holes. But the gameplay was able to save it for me. It was very enjoyable. I'm going to give this a 9.5. Lego Marvel Superheroes. It's a Lego game, but it's a good Lego game because it has a big open world and tons to do. Besides just the normal levels, there's an entire area you can run around and explore. Tons and tons of content. But, again, it's just a Lego game. There's not really anything big to set it apart besides a big character roster, so 8. Overwatch, I do not like Overwatch. Call me the one person in the entire world not to like Overwatch, and that is fine by me. Probably has something to do with the fact that I bought it on console, and the game really feels like it's too fast-moving for the terrible camera that this game has. It just moves too slow, and I know you can change it, but then it'll be way too precise and way too jumpy. The characters felt very, very, very unbalanced and just not very fun to play as. But it did have a pretty good online matching system, and some of it was fun. When you were really doing well, this game did have a time moment, so I'd say a 6.5. Last things, Minecraft Xbox One. Minecraft overall, I'd have to give an 8, but considering this disc stopped working after only a few months, I'm going to have to give it a 1. What are you going to do? Oh boy, let's just get going with this. I'm going to have to talk a bit faster. Minecraft Xbox 360. This one actually did work. And for when it was released, this was a really good version of the game. Like I said before, an 8. Sonic Ultimate Genesis Collection has a ton of old Genesis games. And, well, it's not really my style, as I learned when I got this game. A lot of old Genesis games aren't really my type of game. The fact that there's so many and that it runs so well, and that there's save states and all that stuff, I definitely have to give this game a 7.5. Mortal Kombat vs. DC Universe. This was a game that taught me that I am really not a big fan of stereotypical fighting games. I learned this later with Street Fighter 2, but in my opinion, Mortal Kombat, specifically in Street Fighter 2 Lesser Standard, their entire idea of having, like, pinpoint precise attacks as their main, draw-in is not fun. I don't want to have to spend 30 hours in this game learning everybody's movements and then having them not work half the time because they have to be way too precise for their own good. That in this game only had like 15 characters. 4.5. Was really bad. Left 4 Dead 2 I never played. I don't even know why it's up here. It's not even my game. Final Fantasy 13 is a game that's very polarizing. You generally hate it or you really like it. In my opinion, I actually really like this game. It's very difficult. It has horrible difficulty spikes. The story is really confusing. The characters have really weird character motivations. But overall, the graphics are beautiful. The music is great. The story's presentation is really nice. It's on a 3-disc format. The game is really long. Yeah, there's 3 discs right here. The characters overall generally are either likable or non-likable, and really whatever they need, whatever they want to be, that's what they are. The game actually did a pretty good job with its character, character balancing, although I would have to say that some aren't generally as useful, but it's better than other games like 10, where Kimari, one of the characters, was absolutely useless. This game actually is a very fun combat system, so I would give this game an 8. Call of Duty Modern Warfare, I barely play this game. I played the first level in it, but I mostly got it for its online. Well, I didn't even get it. It's my dad's old game. It's actually pretty fun, though. I'd have to say an 8.5, considering a lot of people are still playing it. Call of Duty World at War, I never played. Sonic the Hedgehog 06. Glitchy, broken, slow, ugly, but so fun, because I just love to go out and break. Like, I'll actually think, what do I want to play today? And I'll pull out this game and just break it. It's actually fun to go through and see how bad you can destroy this game. But that's not an excuse to give it any higher of a rating than a 2. It's actually a really terrible game. Star Ocean Last Hope is a very, very long RPG by Square Enix, and while it's good, the graphics are a bit odd. The characters don't look very nice. Although the graphics overall are pretty good. The story is long. It's there's a lot of gameplay here, actually. I'd probably have to give it an 8.5. This game is really fun. Could have stacked these better. Mini Ninjas is a RPG that kind of reminds me of Zelda. This game is actually great. I love this game. You're a ninja. You're like 6 ninjas in this game, and you run around like fighting samurai and like trying to solve the evil in your world and stuff like that. Kind of a basic story, but this game is actually really fun. I love it. 9, actually. This is one of my favorite games. Lego Lord of the Rings is bad. I don't know what to say. This game is just not good. It feels kind of like Lego Marvel Superheroes, except this came first, and it's more of the groundwork. It feels like half the stuff doesn't work in this game. I couldn't get it to run. So, 5.5, because I guess this time I did play it was okay. Sonic Generations is the best Sonic game. Just hands down. Great speed, great gameplay, and while it's not a masterpiece by any means, it's generally really fun, and I always have a good time when I play it, so, 8. Halo Anniversary is Halo 1. What more can be said about it? Good graphics, good fun, good gunplay, if you can deal with its old design. 8. Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. Oh, boy. Now this, I'm going to save for a review for another time. Let's just say I think it's really good. My camera's falling down. Alright, here we got the Wii U games. Games probably you never played or heard of because this system did terrible. I like it. It did have some fun games. Start off, Kirby and the Rainbow Curse. This game could have been so fun if it didn't force you to look down at the gamepad constantly and break your neck in the process. Seriously, this game had amazing colorful graphics, but you constantly had to be staring down at the gamepad, and that actually hurt a lot. And if you don't know, this thing's screen is not that nice. It's very dull. And having to look down like this when you could be looking at a TV with amazing graphics kind of ruined the game, to be honest. Twilight Princess is my second favorite Zelda game of all time, tied with Breath of the Wild. Oh, this game is actually fantastic. I love this game. Great new graphics, great new lighting, and while it is overwatched with some lighting effects sometimes, it looks fantastic and is a great way to play this game if you haven't before. Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric was another generally non-polarizing title because basically everyone hated it. I actually beat this game before I realized that everyone hated it, so it's actually fine with me. Sure, it's super glitchy, sure, it's super bare bones, but it's not that long either, so honestly, I'm going to give this a 5.5. It's broken, but I enjoyed it. It's very mind-numbing. If you just want a brawler, then that's what you're getting. Splatoon was a fun game with great gunplay, paint, all that, ink, whatever you want to call it, but it was kind of bare bones in terms of content. There was a story mode, but besides that, there was ranked, which was kind of lazy, and Turf War, which is what I spent most of my time playing. But besides that, there's not a lot here besides some guns and some customization, so 7.5. Super Mario 3D World is my least favorite 3D Mario game besides 3D Land. No, actually, I like 3D Land better. This game is very easy. It's not really that much of a challenge. It's very simple. It feels like 3D Land, except easier, to be honest. I don't know. It's fun. It's colorful. It's not a bad game. It's just very disappointing. So 7.5. New Super Mario Bros. U. I barely played this game, just like I did most of the new Super Mario Bros. Games. Honestly, it just felt like more of the same, except in this being an exception of the best in the series of the new Super Mario Bros. Game with the best gameplay. But at this point, I just felt burned out. But since it is a good game, I'll give it a 7.5. It's a lot of 7.5s. Sonic Lost World is a very, very interesting game. While I enjoyed most of it, it is also very frustrating with its momentum issues and the fact that you really never go that fast. But it's so original. I was actually able to enjoy a lot of this, and while it does have some glaring issues about it not being very fast, it's very original. I gotta give it that, so I'll give this game a 7. Hyrule Warriors is what led up to the much superior Fire Emblem Heroes, or Fire Emblem Warriors, which both are fantastic, but that game does run a bit better. This game was great. I played so much of this game. I also had it for the 3DS, but that version was much worse, but had more content. Overall, I spent a lot of time in this game, and as a Zelda game, it has a lot of fan service. As a Warriors game, it's hectic, it's super crazy, really fun. Also, check out Dynasty Warriors 9, that game's going to be awesome. Anyway, this game is a solid 9.5. I loved that game. Nintendo Land is just a minigame collection that was bundled with the Wii U. Not a lot to be said. There's a lot of fan service here. There's a Zelda minigame, a Mario Kart minigame, a Pikmin minigame, a Luigi's Mansion minigame, a Metroid minigame, an Animal Crossing minigame, a Yoshi minigame, Takamaru's Ninja Castle, which is a throwback to an unknown NES game. Octopus Dance, I don't know where that came from. I think that was Game & Watch. Captain Falcon's Twister Race, Donkey Kong, Balloon Trip, which is Balloon Fight. There's a lot of callbacks in this game, and there's a lot of content here, actually. It's cool. It's cool. Xenoblade Chronicles X, in my opinion, was fantastic. Did have some issues with taking a really long time with filler to get to new content, but overall the gameplay was so fun with the giant robots and running around the giant world and exploration. It just felt so good. 9. Super Smash Bros. Wii U is the best Super Smash Bros. Game with the best combat, the best stages, not the best stage creator. Too frustrating. The best online, the best unlockables. No story mode, sadly, but overall the best game in the series. And I definitely have to give this game a 10, simply because of how much I played it. Mario Kart 8. This game was fantastic. It's one of my favorite games of all time, but simply because of its terrible battle mode, and honestly, the DLC kind of being bare bones. Sure, it was way worth its money, but 4 tracks for, what, like $30 or something like that? I don't know how much it was, but felt a bit overpriced. In fact, a lot of DLC, in my opinion, is way overpriced. But overall, this game is fantastic. A lot of stuff to do. 9. 10. 10. Alright, so here we got all my Switch games. I'm going to save this for another video because this has gone on long enough. There's a lot of games to talk about here. Not as much, but I'd like to go into more depth with a few of them than the time. I don't want to go like 20 minutes or whatever. So, this has been the first episode. Tell me if you like it. Tell me if you think it's a good idea. Tell your friends, subscribe, like the video, do whatever you want. I can't tell you what to do. Anyway, this has been Josh, whatever you want to call me. I'll see you guys next time.